Guys, welcome back, Full Time Reds. Thank you for joining me. Big day for us. We're announcing some new shows today. So it's an exciting show. I've got a jam pack for you today. The new show that you are watching right now is called Red Recap, 7 key takeaways. So I'm going to go through the 7 things I basically saw in the game against Crystal Palace, and I'll do this after every major game. I'll try to do it once a week at least, because sometimes I feel it can become a bit repetitive. And we've got a podcast on Thursdays, and then we've got match reaction shows after each game. So these are the 3 shows we are kind of consistently going to go with. So if you've not subscribed, if you're not going involved, please do so. We're a new Manchester United community that's looking to kind of just give a balanced view on things, not an overreaction or a clickbait kind of vibe. Just really cool chat between fans. So let's get straight into it. 7 key takeaways from the Crystal Palace game on Saturday. I'm going to start with the positives, and then I'll go into the not so positives after. So let's start with number one. Starting to see a style of play. What you're starting to see, what I felt was, and I didn't get a lot of the criticism online, maybe because I just watch the game and I don't keep looking at my phone constantly as in things are happening, because people can overreact and you have to take into the context of things. I thought for about 60 minutes we were fine. Um, you know, we were holding possession, and we were creating chances. We compared to last time when we went, I think about 12 weeks ago, we were really solid, and I thought that style of play really worked for us. And we were opening chances. Xerxes was bringing others into play. There was a bit of a system and a bit of a style to it. And I think it was a very positive that I saw a lot of people saying, "Oh, it's all good, this, that, the other." I think there's just too much of an exaggeration on that kind of style of play, and I think you are starting to see the style of play. It's just taking a bit of time. So number one, I saw a style of play and I was really happy with it. Number two, Ligt. This guy is a beast. What a player. One thing I've noticed with him is that compared to others, he thrives in this kind of physicality of the Premier League. You can just see that. Maybe compared to other leagues where he's been, where you can't be as physical, here you can. And I think on Mateta, I forgot the Palace striker's name, who was in form, locked him off completely. Couldn't get into the game. Should have scored. Maybe hit it too perfectly. He was a beast. Causing problems, really assertive. And once he gets going after 20-25 games, you will see a big improvement in him again and going forward. And I think he's nailing down that place. And he's been something we've not done for a while is which buy players that go into the starting 11 and improve them. Really big positive for me with him. Number three, our set pieces have improved massively. We used to have a set piece coach, I forgot his name as well, who's gone to the US now, and the one we've just bought in, fantastic. We look like, usually we used to underhit him, overhit him, or we just putting him in and really not know what's going on. Our set pieces, we are a threat from set pieces, defending wise and offensively as well, and that is a really positive, because these days I was watching Arsenal yesterday. Set pieces are so crucial now. You need to take advantage of them, and you need to defend them really well as well. Teams are big. They're either scoring from them, or just if you haven't got a routine or a set piece style, what happens is they just kind of, like what's happened to us previously, just easily deal with you, and you can't do much. But our set pieces have become really good from what I've seen, and hopefully they'll improve, because our set piece coach started quite late. So over the season, I'm hoping to see a lot more improvement on that. Number four, Onana's form. People are very easily criticize Andre Onana for when he makes a mistake, but the guy's been in top form since the start of the season. The double save he did yet on Saturday was Schmeichel-esque. Very. He's been good in possession. I feel sometimes he gets overanalyzed, because one thing I've seen with Onana is if he misplaces a pass, our own fans, especially another fans, just start going, "Well, oh my God, he's no good, he's no good." I watched Edison on Sunday yesterday against Arsenal, and that corner, what they scored their second goal from, he didn't even come off his line, and he got a bit of a touch and he went down. It was pokey, but no one will say anything about it. I've seen mistakes by Alisson Becker as well. And these two are top keepers by some. And I think Onana's really up there. I think he's a fantastic double save, very good in possession, wasn't really called upon much, but that's a lot harder, because if you're constantly under pressure, you're more switched on. when you're not under pressure, you kind of switch off, and then you need to come into the zone. And I thought he was very, very, very good, in my opinion. So hats off to him. The back five were fantastic. Mazarawi, the guy again. For 12 million, no one's going to mention the price now because it's so cheap, but fantastic. Dallo, who I was not a fan of, and I've said this many times, but he was fantastic as well. I thought the back four was. I know another one. Martinez gets a lot of. The Butcher gets a lot of criticism. I don't understand what for. We didn't concede. Yeah, obviously they created one or two chances, but every Premier League team will create chances. That is the beast of the Premier League. But we were with clean sheet, no problem whatsoever. Thought they were good. Hold the back five were very, very good. Now coming on to the kind of not so good points. Point number, I'm just looking at you. Point number 5, Bruno's form. This is a big problem, and I've said this for a while, and a lot of people laughed at me when I said this last year that I feel Bruno Fernandes is going to become a problem because when he's not assisting or scoring goals, he doesn't really add much, and we seem to play better when it doesn't go through him. And to keep it as a fair, balanced point of view, his captaincy has been really poor as well, and I'm comparing it to Maguire's captaincy. And people were calling for Maguire's head, and I feel we should have the same energy across the board. And I think his captaincy has been poor. Last year we finished 8th, our lowest finish for God knows how long. This season against Liverpool, I feel in most games he doesn't really add much. Um, and he plays like you've got from the first minute he gets the ball, he's playing like there's 30 seconds to go, we need a goal, and he loses possession. He's constantly playing the Hollywood ball. And the reason Eriksen, which goes into my 6th point, Eriksen and Mount could be the solution. Eriksen is a player that every fan, including myself, wrote off and thought he needs to go. There's no place for him. The midfield, we don't really need him, and now he's become the most important midfielder at the club, especially against teams where we have more time on the ball. Against teams where they're going to press higher, I don't think he would be able to play, but Mount could. And I think in the Europa League games, and even the game on this Wednesday in the Europa League, I think we should try Mount or Eriksen at 10, or Mount and Eriksen together with Ogate or Kobe Menu, and try keeping the ball. I think we need, not every team has Bruno Fernandes, and not and teams above us, most of them don't have that kind of play, but they seem to score a lot more goals and create a lot more. And I think it would evolve. Our gameplay would evolve, and I think he won't change. There's a lot of talk of him going to 6. I don't think he's disciplined enough to play 6 or any position. He's a free kind of player. Get the ball to him and just let him float around and play passes in. That's good to a point, but when you're not playing well and your balls are not coming off, really, then it becomes a problem. And that's what you saw with him. And his form is quite concerning. But there's no reason why you can't take him out for a couple of games, because he plays every game as well, and give him a rest. And I feel Eriksen Mount with Menu or Ogate could really work well. I think Mount could really add something to us. And you've seen once he wasn't playing what we missed. So I think Eriksen Mount could be the solution to Bruno and giving Bruno a rest. And let him just analyze his game and just work on his game a bit. And I feel that is needed. Next thing, point number 6, subs did not help. I felt the subs were just all over the show. Rashford went up, didn't do anything. Once Xerxes went off, and then the subs just did not help. And I feel Ten Hag subs don't really impact the game. I felt Palace's subs changed the game and got him a bit of a foothold, but our subs just did not help at all. Didn't really kind of do anything. Kind of took us backwards as well. And my last point, number 7, I feel Ten Hag is under just pressure every time we get a bad result or where we don't win, and this is just going to keep on happening. And I feel he's to blame for this as well as the ownership, because when he became Manchester United manager, he after about 2-3 months the club went up for sale, and then he got us through that first season and he won the Carabao Cup and we got into the Champions League. I felt he should have resigned at that point. Reason being, when a club is under takeover or going through a takeover, whoever comes in usually appoints their own manager. You saw that at Chelsea, you've seen it others as well. He didn't. He carried on. He had a bad season last season. Could have got sacked multiple times. He won the FA Cup. I felt that was another point he should have resigned because he couldn't really do more. And there was a lot of talk about being the ownership speaking to other people. And I felt that was a good way for him to go. Bad season, it covers up a bit of the cracks. He walks out of the credibility, goes into another job. And he didn't. And they couldn't agree on a new deal. And what then happened was they then um, basically extended his contract by a season, just triggered the extension. And this is just going to go on and on and on. I just don't see how he comes through this because um, I feel we will win games, we'll draw games, but I don't. If we don't win on Sunday against Tottenham, and then we've got Villa, we're too far off. Um, some people with inside knowledge are saying that as long as we can steer style of play, he can hold. He'll keep his job. Could be, but I feel it's just situation handled. But he was advised badly as well. He should have resigned. He would have gone with his head held high, and he would have been in a situation where he could have walked into another job because he could have. A lot of the situations last year, some of them were his fault. He would have got away with it because he could have said, "Look, the club's going through a takeover. There's so many issues. I tried my best. We still won 2 trophies in 2 years, which is fine." But I feel he's under a lot of pressure. And you're already seeing the reactions online. I don't agree with it, even though I'm not his biggest fan. I thought had a good game, like my points, but just the situation he finds himself in, I thought it was handled badly. Um, so let's see what happens. We'll be back on Thursday with a podcast and a match reaction. So do subscribe. Thank you for watching. Hope you like the show.